Well, and a big sigh of relief and a step in the right direction is what many pensioners said about today's announcement. Many of them have lost their homes, had to take on second jobs, and put off retirement because of the pension loss. Greg, so these technical parole violations could be anything from missing curfew to being late to a parole meeting, but there are other parts of this legislation that local DAs say they're not on board with. That's right, Greg. So right now that national average sits at about $3.59, but like you guys just mentioned, the average here in the capital region is higher at $4.19. And they said the snow this past winter has actually encouraged them to head south to Florida. But for the rest of us that will stay here in the capital region, we'll keep shoveling out our driveways and get our cars all cleared off. But for now, reporting live in Niskayuna, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News. Traditions of wearing your pajamas inside out or putting a spoon in the freezer in hopes of a snow day will live on. Even with remote learning, school districts say they plan to keep those traditional snow days alive. Governor Kathy Hochul is also encouraging New Yorkers to shop local this Small Business Saturday. As of right now, New York State Police have confirmed arrests have been made, but they have not confirmed how many have been arrested or what those charges are just yet. Saratoga County Sheriff's Department took no chances when protecting students from the nationwide school threat originating on social media app TikTok.
We had actually held over our midnight shift and called in our afternoon shift. So you're talking in excess of around 24 extra deputy sheriffs were assigned to all the public schools in the county.
Saratoga County officials add the extra patrolling of schools will not stop on Friday.
We are also going to continue this all of next week with the extra patrols leading right up until Christmas break.
Meanwhile, in Schenectady County, another threat was made on Snapchat directed at the Oneida Middle School. Shortly before 10 a.m., the school was placed in a lockout, while the threat was deemed uncredible by local city and county law enforcement and left some parents questioning if they'll bring their kids back.
I just got the girls out, checked them out of school, and now I'm going to go put them on homeschooling. But they need the socializing, so I don't know.
She feels nervous because it's not just me being exposed, it's the rest of the kids too.
The forced closure of Gaffney's did not come as a surprise to some people in Saratoga Springs.
This is of the Saratoga community that Gaffney's has knowingly been a problem for months now, and the fact that they continue to sort of ignore the impact that they've had here is disturbing.
Public Safety Commissioner Jim Montagnino says he's hopeful the violence during those early morning hours will come to an end, especially as the city plans to increase security on and around Caroline Street as the summer months approach.
In terms of security, we've already got in place a patrol increase initiative where we're going to have more officers in the busier part of the season. So the weekend nights and evenings are going to have a significant police presence greater than what has been seen in the recent past.
Montagnino says there are plenty of other bars and restaurants in Saratoga Springs patrons can flock to, saying those establishments operate differently, leading to less incidences.
The problem we always had with Gaffney's is that the owners weren't around near closing time and often not around much at all. And so security was left to relatively inexperienced people, and things got out of hand far too frequently.
Meanwhile, Chamber of Commerce officials say they want businesses to come and thrive in the city, but safety must remain a top priority.
No, we want Gaffney's back, but it's got to be done safely, and it has to be done with the community's interests at heart.
City Council is still discussing different ways to keep everyone safe on Caroline Street, like blocking off parts of the road to traffic. Montagnino says he's hopeful they'll have a solution by the start of summer. I also reached out to different bars and restaurants around Saratoga Springs. Establishments either did not return my phone calls or declined to comment. Representatives from Gaffney's referred us to a statement they sent out earlier this week saying they are committed to working with the city and the SLA to reopen. Reporting in Saratoga Springs, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News. This weekend, people around the capital region are starting to feel the heat.
We like it hot. We spend enough time in the cold.
Too hot for me in May.
Yeah.
I can use it in August, but not in May.
Some are spending the weekend getting the pool open.
A new pressure gauge for our pool, and we had to get a new thermometer for our pool.
I'm looking to get the proper chemicals to make my pool nice and clear.
Others took advantage of the nice weather and flocked to the Troy Farmers Market. Vendors were well prepared to keep the goods and themselves cool.
Some of the products will melt, which is why we're on the shady side of the street. So you have to be careful, but you know, the syrup is all sealed, so it's perfectly fine in the heat.
Grateful to be in the farmer's market booth because our storefront's just a block and a half away, and when it's 90 degrees outside, it's much hotter inside. So right now I am counting my blessings.
But if you are out and about this weekend, emergency room doctors advise you to take it slow.
People are definitely not ready for this type of heat. It was just a few weeks ago, it was I think in the 40s. So try to stay in an air-conditioned building or stay inside, stay in the shade. If they go outside, make it short duration.
Dr. Robert Brewer from St. Peter's Hospital says the two age groups that are at a higher risk of medical emergencies during the heat are the young and the old.
People with chronic medical conditions on a lot of medications, those are the people that need to be extra careful.
Signs Dr. Brewer says to be aware of are being lightheaded, dizzy, or nauseous. You may start getting cramps in your legs or in other muscles. He advises you to take a break in the shade. If things get worse, call your doctor or visit urgent care. Reporting in the Capital Region, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News.
Today I was released from prison.
Welcome home, Dante.
After life behind bars since the age of 17, Dante Mitchell became a free man Thursday morning. As he left the Fishkill Correctional Facility as his sentence was commuted, feelings of joy took over.
I feel satisfied that I did what was necessary in order to get myself free, because about 4 years ago, this is when I really committed to this process that I was going to get clemency.
Friends and supporters say the work was more than worth it.
Today is a momentous day, like it's monumental. Oftentimes doing the work, there are a lot of losses. And we run into a lot of hurdles and challenges, but today is a huge victory.
Until Freedom, a social justice reform organization, supported Mitchell since the beginning. Founding members Angelo Pinto and Myson Linen say Mitchell's work to better himself should inspire others.
I just felt that his energy deserved to be out here free. I felt that he served his time for what he had, the crime he had committed. He had understood and was ready to come back and be a very, a reputable member of society. So I'm just glad that he's given the opportunity to do so.
Now adjusting to life outside prison, Mitchell's goal is to help guide young people in the right direction so they don't make the same mistakes he did.
I don't feel like there's any reason to be nervous or scared or fearful. I just know that, I have the inspiration and desire to come out here and do the right thing, and that's just that.
Reporting in Schenectady, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News.